Good morning, y'all. And again, welcome back to Living Life with FND. I am Sarah, and I have been surfing it with FND or Functional Neurological Disorder since August of 2023. If you're new and lost here, please check out my earlier videos for more information about FND and my journey. Viewer discretion is advised. My videos may include sensitive topics that could be triggering. Trigger warnings or TW will be displayed in the video, listed in the description, and included in the transcripts with timestamps to help you make that informed decision. So you can skip around as needed. Please keep your mental health in mind while watching. Again, while I am a professional in the real world, I am not your professional. The information I share is solely based on my own opinions, experiences, and research, but it is not a substitute for guidance from your own healthcare team. Always consult with your trusted healthcare professionals for advice tailored to your unique situation. Okay, I'll be right back after this quick break and we'll get started. This is hard work, y'all. It's been really tricky, but I'm making it work. However, I could really use your help though. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, share. It really helps spread awareness and reach more people about FND. Thanks for waiting on me. I know that I left you guys hanging with Nurse Betty. This is going to be difficult for me to talk about, as always, but I need to get it out there to free myself, and who knows, maybe sharing this will help someone out there too. Maybe end some problems in the world. Let's recap just a little bit. It should have been a simple hospital stay. Get the professional help for my mental health while being supervised, considering I have serious medication sensitivity issues, then move on with adulting. It was after hours, and their after hours emergency telephone was broken. I ended up standing there for what seemed like 20 minutes until a staff member walked past the reception door. I quickly banged on the window to get their attention and was quickly admitted. I didn't want to keep my two roommates awake, but was still struggling to regulate. So I sat there in a chair in the unit, quietly in a cycle of sobbing and anxiety. Desperate to stop, know that you've been all anticipating about the night nurse. We'll just call her Betty. I think I asked her to see if the on-call doctor could give me my daily medication, an anxiety med, or something to help me sleep. Somehow I ended up sitting in a wheelchair near the nurse's medication station while I waited. Well, when she came back, After checking, she said, "No, you should have brought your own medication with you when you admitted yourself. You'll see the doctor tomorrow morning to discuss your treatment plan." Then she left me sitting there, no cameras around, mind you. This was a high traffic area. Staff were constantly in and out of the unit. Unit doors are pretty thick in any hospital, but we'll discuss this part later. She came back. Her tone was far from that of a caring nurse. It was cold, unprofessional, unethical, entirely unnecessary, unhelpful, you name it. She demanded repeatedly, like a broken record, "You really need to stop crying and waking up patients in the unit." The patients were already in bed in a comatose state, mind you. "You've been doing this for almost an hour. If you don't stop, you're going to raise your blood pressure. If it gets too high, you'll have a stroke. I can't give you anything tonight. And just so you know, we won't send you to the ER if you have a stroke. You volunteered yourself here, and if we discharge you immediately, insurance won't cover a voluntary discharge." She was only making my attack worse. Desperate to get away from her mental and verbal abuse, I decided to get some sleep, letting my roommate's snoring drift me off to sleep. Then, bam, I was startled at the crack of dawn by the phlebotomist intern. I'm talking about 3 a.m. I only had 4 hours of sleep. She poked and prodded and blew my vein. So I said, "It's too early for this education stuff. So can the actual phlebotomist step in?" Later that morning, met with the psychiatrist. I was stripped off the one psych medication I had been on for 3 months, given a new one. They even suggested increasing that medication the following day. Luckily, I refused, but out of desperation, I did take a sleep aid. Things spiraled pretty quickly. It was my usual side effects from any medications, more anxiety. I was in pretty bad shape when I came in. I shrugged it off as I wanted to give it a chance before actually changing medications. But then things began to worsen. I did, however, have a good couple conversations over the weekend with a psychiatrist who had a military and PTSD oriented background. He respected that I did not want to change my medications. 3 days later, my anxiety symptoms continued, but nothing that I can't handle. I shrugged it off. Boy, was that a mistake. Then sitting there, relaxing, chatting with friends, it worsened. My tongue went numb. I started biting it. I began speaking really strangely. I went to the nurse. She dismissed it as my typical anxiety, gave me some more medication, and sent me outside to get some fresh, smoky air. She said, check back with me in 45 minutes. While outside, I blacked out, had a droopy face, tongue, and ended up starting to become paralyzed. It was pretty scary. It felt like it took the EMT an eternity sitting there, taking my vitals, getting an IV port, which I will mention, he blew my vein and used my paralyzed side for an IV port. I was getting more and more anxious as my symptoms continued to worsen pretty quickly. Once at the ER, I was rushed to a CT scan. Then do this, do that, test this. And then I was given a phone to call an emergency contact. And due to COVID spikes, I was transferred to another hospital 3 hours away in the middle of the night. No clothes, no cell phone, just me, pure exhaustion. Voice was struggling. It seemed like no one looked at my health records or medication for 3 weeks. I begged to continue mental health services, but was denied. They didn't even consider that my stroke and paralysis might be linked to the psych medication or my fall in July. Well, look at that, y'all. Time sure does fly. Trust me, it does. I hate to stop here, but I have things to do, and I'm sure you do too. We'll continue this FND journey series in my next video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Love to you all. Hey there, before we dive back into the real world, if you love coffee or tea as much as I do, check out my Amazon wish list in the description below. Send me some goodies, and I'll open them during fan mail. Can't wait to share the love with y'all. I know people do this for a profession. Again, I should have gone to a real hospital. You don't know how much this affects me.